So I'm turning 39 in a few months, and I've been working really hard to get in really good shape. And I started to ask myself, why am I working so hard to get in such good shape? And why do I really want to be in the best shape of my life? And I wanted to share them with you because I know there's a lot of guys out there who are getting older, who might already be older than I am, and maybe have gone over the hill already and feel like it's too late to get your life back in order, and it's too hard and too much work to get in shape. It does get harder as you get older, and I'm feeling that a lot, but I'm reminding myself of all the reasons why. Some of my reasons might seem a little vain or silly, and some of them come from the heart and from a good place, because some of the reasons why I'm working so hard to get in shape is for my loved ones. But let's get into the first thing. I never accomplished all my fitness goals. I have gone through every fad diet, every popular workout. My weight has been up and down my entire life. I was a scrawny, skinny little kid. Then after my grandmother died and I went through some depressive stages, I kind of gained a lot of weight. Between like 10 and 14 years old, I was pretty heavy. And then when I got into my teen years, I got more active. I started doing drugs, partying, and running around on the streets and doing stupid stuff, which helped me lose a lot of weight. In my early 20s, I gained a lot of weight back. I was eating terribly. I was getting fat. I was drinking all the time. I have huge stretch marks on my sides to prove it. I was almost 300 pounds at one point. All right, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. I was like 270 something, which is pretty damn close to 300. I became the butt of all the fat jokes, and I hated it. And it motivated me to get in shape. I remember dieting, working out all the time. I was at the gym every single day. I was running after work. I was doing everything I could to lose weight. Later on, in my mid-20s, I went through trying to do P90X and all those stupid things that you try to do to get in shape, but I never accomplished those goals because I always had bad habits. I always drank and I always smoked weed, which made me eat more. And even though I was in good shape, I was never gonna get a six-pack, because your six-pack is made in the kitchen, and I had too many vices that were preventing me from accomplishing that. And then I had active jobs that kept me in decent shape, but never a bodybuilder body. It's something that I think all guys want, but you got to work so hard for it that most guys don't accomplish it unless you do roids and cheat. And even then, you still got to work hard if you do roids. But I was scared of that stuff because I didn't want to go bald. Really, I didn't want to go bald. That's why I didn't do steroids when I was younger. Even though I stayed in shape for the most part, I eventually got married. And when you're a young man and you settle down, that's usually when you really stop caring about your fitness. Luckily, I stayed active at work because I parked cars and I was always running around or waiting tables, which kept me on my feet. And even though I was married and was letting myself go, I picked up hobbies like boxing and jiu-jitsu, which kept me in good shape. Honestly, the best shape of my life. And then in my 30s, my wife and I have a few kids. I gain weight, I lose weight, I gain weight, I lose weight. And that cycle just continues up until a couple years ago when I have knee surgery and I basically am bedridden for like a month. And then after that, I can't really walk for a couple months. And I'm gaining more weight, I'm being less active, I'm no longer doing jiu-jitsu, and I became very obsessed with trying to make money online, growing a YouTube channel and work, and I completely let go of my physical health. I'm back up to almost 230 pounds, the heaviest I've been since my kids were born, which was years ago, and now I'm in a rut, and I feel terrible, and I'm getting depressed, and I feel like I'm kind of losing control of myself. And now I'm stuck in this rut, not challenging myself with any physical activity and just eating junk food, drinking a lot of beer, and kind of becoming everything I told myself I never would be. And while I was doing therapy and things like that, I realized that letting go of my physical health was greatly impacting my mental health, and I had to do something about it. I literally was getting to the point where I had no energy at all. And I think all of this stuff kind of compounded on top of itself. And while I was feeling tired and out of shape and just unhealthy, my mental health wasn't in a good place. I started to hate my job. I really wanted to pursue other things. And I went through a little midlife crisis. I quit my job. We packed up our stuff and we headed out to Europe. And I spent almost 5 months in Europe with my family. And even though I was starting to focus on my health a little bit more at that point, it's hard to really get in shape and be healthy when all your kids want to do is eat pizza and gelato every day, right? I was playing with my kids a lot. We were running around all kinds of different places. We were on the beach a lot. And I started to notice that playing with my kids was hard. It was super, super hard. I would get winded easily, chasing them up and down the beach. And I remember playing soccer with them or kicking the ball around and just carrying them on my back and on my shoulders up these hills and just feeling so weak and just getting winded and feeling like I couldn't keep up with my kids. And that feeling really bugged me. I did not like that feeling at all. I always told myself that I wanted to be an active father. I always told myself that I wouldn't be one of those fat dads that would just sit on the sideline watching their kids play, screaming at them to try harder and not actually participate in a lot of the stuff that they did. And I could tell that my health and me being out of shape was affecting my interactions with my children. I remember hearing something from Modern Family, and I don't know if that's where the quote comes from, but the quote was, "You never know when's the last time you'll pick up your kid." And my daughter's getting big right now, and she's almost 8, and she's a big kid. I remember there was a few times when she was like, "Dad, pick me up, Dad, pick me up," and I was just like, I can't. I can see the sadness in her eyes when it's just like, my kid still wants me to pick her up. She still enjoys Dad picking her up and holding her up in the air and treating her like a baby, right? And I couldn't pick my baby up anymore. And that really hurt me. And I also think about that tearjerker Christmas commercial that I think of all the time. And it's this grandpa picking up a kettlebell over and over, and he just keeps holding it. And it doesn't show you why the whole video. The neighbor's looking at him funny, and he's just trying to lift this kettlebell up. And then finally, it's because he's visiting his granddaughter for Christmas, and he wants to be able to pick her up and have her put the ornament or the star on the tree. And I'm kind of getting choked up as I just think about that goddamn commercial. But it's those kind of things that were really big motivators for me. Sure, I always wanted a six-pack. Sure, I wanted to be in the best shape of my life. Sure, I want to feel confident taking my shirt off. But none of that stuff matters. None of that stuff is really important. Being in shape for me was because of my kids and because of me feeling like shit and feeling sad and feeling unhappy about myself. And that's the truth, man. That's the real reason. Another thing too is I want to be a good role model. I don't feel like a strong, positive father figure is someone who sits on the couch drinking beer and smoking weed and watching TV and just getting fat. And I don't want to look back and have my kids feel that Dad wasn't the proper father figure that he could have been. And I know that when my kids see me working out in the garage and they come in there and they start lifting the little weights with me, I give them the little 2.5 pound adjusters that go into my dumbbells, and they start lifting weights and they start hitting my heavy bag and they get in the ice bath that I've been getting into, and they see that and it shows me that I'm setting the right example. I guess this whole reason for me really wanting to get in the best shape of my life is to be the best father that I can be. And like I said, yeah, maybe some of it has to do with vanity and trying to hit some of those goals that I never achieved. But my goals in my 40s are much different now. And the things that are important to me are much different now. And while all those other things are cool, the positive impact that I can have on my children is really what matters to me. And I'm gonna stay in the best shape of my life as long as I can. I am promising myself, and this is something that I have kept telling myself through this whole process that I will never let myself gain back the weight that I'm losing now, and I will try to stay as healthy as I possibly can. I've cut out almost all of my vices. I'm not smoking, I'm not drinking, I even gave up coffee. I don't play video games. My only exception is when I have actual real life friends who are playing. I really am trying to be the best person that I can be and get in the best shape that I can in order to make sure that my kids see me as the best person that I am. Because I know that they've seen me at some low points, and drinking and eating like shit and staying up all night, locked in my office, trying to work is not the dad I want to be. I want to be the dad that's out and about at soccer practice, at jiu-jitsu practice, at the tournaments, at all the events, running around with them, practicing with them, picking them up, throwing them around on the couch and jumping on the trampoline with them and doing all the things that they need me to do. And if I'm not in good shape, I can't do those things. And that's it. I hope that this motivates some of the old guys out there. I hope that this was helpful for me sharing this stuff. I'm trying to stay away from making videos that are telling you what you need to do, and I'm just trying to talk about what I'm trying to do. And then maybe by me sharing some of this stuff, it can help motivate or inspire other people out there to do the same, because I'm tired of seeing so many people on the internet trying to tell people what to do, because the truth is we're all just figuring it out. And in this video, I'm just trying to figure out why I'm trying to get in good shape and why I'm trying to be healthy. And I wanted to talk it out with you guys so that maybe you guys might want to do the same. All right, with all that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.